What's going on, everybody? Kalipis Tech here, coming back at you with another video. This is the beginner's guide to the Motorola Moto G Stylus 2022. In this video, I'm going to be showing you some more basic tips and tricks for this phone to help you get started. Now, before we go any further, I do want to remind you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to learn more about this phone, be sure to check out my full review of it as well. But with that being said, let's get started. So the first thing I want to show you here is how to change the wallpaper. This is a pretty easy thing to do. All you need to do is go to Settings. From here, go to Display. Go to Advanced. And Wallpaper is going to be right here. From here, you'll be able to choose between live wallpapers, photos, and wallpapers already on the phone. Now, as a side note, I know a lot of people do end up getting confused by this. On these Motorola phones, there's not a gallery app. It's actually going to be your Google Photos. So from the home screen, if you want to view your photos, instead of finding a gallery app, since there is none on this phone, you're going to be going to the Google section in Google Photos right here. And as you can see, all the photos are going to be in here. Now, if you've never had a phone that has it set up like this, it might seem a little weird, but don't worry, it's pretty much the exact same thing as far as functionality goes. Now, changing the wallpaper is pretty easy, but I'm going to show you an even easier and faster way to do it. So a cool shortcut is to press and hold a finger on any blank spot on your home screen. So you can't do it on a widget or an app, otherwise it's going to do this, and that's not exactly what you want. What you're going to want to do is put it on a blank spot like this. And as you can see, this menu gives you access to not only the wallpapers, but also a few other settings as well. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to take a screenshot. So to do this, at least the basic way, all you need to do is press the power key and the volume down key at the same time. And this is going to show up. It doesn't last for very long, but as you can see, you can edit, share, delete, whatever you want to do. But that's really just about it. Definitely not too difficult. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to turn on dark mode. This is a pretty cool feature. Lots of people like to have it on at all times, or you can switch it back and forth for variety, whatever you want to do. So to turn on dark mode, you're going to go to Settings. From here, go to Display and toggle on dark theme right here at the top. As you can see, dark mode is on now, and if you want to change some other settings, tap on dark theme one more time. Here, you're going to be able to schedule it so you can have it turn on from sunset to sunrise or a custom time. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change the system navigation. This phone does have what's called gesture navigation, so there are no buttons on the navigation bar, just this little bar right here that doesn't really do anything. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown on how this works. So if you're in an app and you want to go to your home screen, swipe up from the bottom. To go to your recent apps, drag your finger up like this. And then to go back, swipe your finger from left to right or right to left. So yeah, gesture navigation is pretty simple, but it's definitely not for everyone. Some people who are really used to the classic Android buttons might really not like gesture navigation. And in case you're wondering, most Motorola phones I've seen these days do actually come stock with this feature activated. But luckily, if you don't like gesture navigation, it's really easy to get the buttons back. So what we're going to do is go to Settings. From here, go to System at the very bottom. And go to Gestures. And from here, you're going to want to hit System Navigation. Now, as you can see, by default, we do have the gesture navigation on, but you can also switch it to 3-button navigation, and this is going to be that classic Android look. So as you can see here, we do have the buttons back. With some phones, you can actually switch the order of the buttons, but unfortunately with this phone, you can't. But at least we do get button navigation, since again, this phone does come by default with gesture navigation on. Now, when it comes to system navigation, of course, there's really no right or wrong. So if you haven't already, I do recommend trying out both and seeing which one you like better. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to turn on your mobile hotspot. Now, in case you don't know what it is, this is basically a way to turn your mobile data into a portable Wi-Fi network. So if you're somewhere with no Wi-Fi, but you have your phone and you're connected to mobile data, then you can activate your hotspot so you can use your tablet or laptop or something like that on the internet. So turning on the hotspot is extremely easy. All you need to do is open your quick menu by swiping down once and twice. Now, the mobile hotspot might be in a different page for you, but for me, it was on the second page. And whether or not it's in this exact spot for you, it's gonna be somewhere on this menu. But anyway, to turn on the mobile hotspot, of course, just tap the icon. And when it looks like this is how you know it's on. So now I'm going to give you a rundown of the sound menu. So to get to the sound menu, you're going to go to Settings. From here, go to Sounds and Vibration. Now the first options we get are the volumes of various different types of sounds. So first we got media volume. This is going to be if you're listening to music, watching a video, playing a game, something like that. Call volume. This is going to be the volume of your earpiece when you're talking on the phone. Ring and notification volume. Pretty self-explanatory. Text messages, calls, notifications from apps, all that stuff. Alarm volume, again, pretty self-explanatory. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that when you have the sound on, by default, your phone is not going to vibrate. But if you want it to vibrate and make sound, you're going to have to go to vibrate for calls. And you can choose always vibrate or vibrate first, then ring gradually. I've never done that personally, so I'm not 100% sure what it looks like. But of course, you can always try it. Just know that if you want your phone to vibrate and make sound at the same time, you're going to have to go here. And again, this is pretty much the first thing that shows up after the volumes. Now, another thing to keep in mind is do not disturb. You really don't need to go to the settings to turn this on. All you need to do is open that quick menu I showed you earlier by swiping once, twice, and do not disturb is going to be somewhere on here. For me, it's right here, but I'm not 100% sure where it's going to be on your phone. Just know it's somewhere in this menu. Now, if we go to advanced, there's some other things we can change. So we got the ringtone right here. You can either choose from one of these or add your own. We got the notification sound, same thing. Alarm sound, again, basically the same thing for all these. You can either choose something from the device or you can add your own custom sound. Now down here, we got some other options. By default, all this stuff is on. So dial pad tones, screen locking sound, charging sounds and vibration. Touch sounds is for some reason off. But if you want those keyboard typing sounds and stuff like that, you can turn this on. Touch vibration on by default, power on sounds, outgoing call vibration. Okay, I've actually never noticed this one, but I guess it's been on this whole time. But that's pretty much it. Really standard stuff, but keep in mind that if your phone is in vibrate or mute, all of these sounds are going to be pretty much silent. So now that we've gone over some of the sound options, let's take a look at what we can do for notifications. So to get to notifications, we're going to go to settings once more. From here, go to apps and notifications. And of course, from here, go to notifications. And the first thing that really comes to mind here is turning off notifications from specific apps. This is one thing I'm really big on, especially when I get a new phone. Because I don't know about you, but I really don't like getting random notifications from apps, especially ones I don't use. I like to keep my status bar clean and empty, no clutter or anything like that. So for me, I like to turn pretty much everything off. So to do that, now that we're in the notification menu, you're going to go to see all from last 7 days. Here, you're going to see all the apps that have sent you notifications within the last 7 days. In whichever ones you don't want notifications from, you can just toggle off and they won't bother you anymore. So this, for me, it's pretty much everything. I really don't like getting notifications at all. Maybe I'll keep on messages, but that's pretty much it. But overall, this is definitely something I would recommend tackling early because if you have a lot of apps, these notifications can really add up. And then you're going to get so many random notifications that don't matter that you might miss something important. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to change your screen lock. Now the screen lock is basically exactly what it sounds like, how your screen unlocks. So if we lock it right now, it's going to ask for a PIN when I'm unlocking it, but I have the fingerprint scanner on because I don't like typing things. So there we go. I'm going to show you how to set all this up. So what we're going to do, of course, is go to settings. From here, go to security. And screen lock is right here. By default, it is going to be PIN. But if you go to the menu, it's going to ask for your current PIN. And now you can choose between none, swipe, pattern, PIN, or password. None and swipe, of course, don't really do anything, but pattern is kind of cool, more of an old-fashioned type of screen lock, and then password is really high security. Now, if you want to use face unlock or the fingerprint scanner, these options are right below the screen lock, and they're going to turn on automatically, so you can't really manually turn them off or anything like that. I guess you can go in and delete a fingerprint, but just know that once you add a fingerprint, your fingerprint scanner is automatically going to work. But regardless, whether you want to use the fingerprint scanner or the face unlock, or just the PIN or something like that, with this phone, it's all really easy to change from the security menu. Now the last thing I'm going to show you is how to change your screen timeout time. This is basically going to adjust how long your screen stays open like this before it automatically sleeps. So this is definitely something to keep in mind. Maybe you're doing something like watching a video, reading something, looking at a photo, maybe even playing a game, and you want to make sure your screen doesn't sleep in the middle of that. Or maybe your screen's staying open too long and you keep forgetting to lock it and it's draining the battery. Whatever the case may be, it's really easy to change. All you need to do is go to settings. From here, go to display, and from here, hit advanced, and screen timeout is right here. So as you can see, I have mine set to 30 minutes, which definitely does have its advantages and disadvantages, but you can change it to as short as 15 seconds or keep it at the maximum. By default, I do think it's either 15 seconds or 30 seconds, I honestly don't remember, but definitely play around with it and see which time works best for you, because depending on how you use your phone, it's going to be different for everyone. But that was my beginner's guide to the Motorola Moto G Stylus 2022. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you found this information useful as well. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And once again, if you do want to learn more about this phone, be sure to check out my full review of it as well. But that's it for this video. As always, I will see you in the next one.